Culturally, Baganda say that God created man first and is called Kintu.
Buganda's myth of origin concerns Kintu, the first Muganda, but also in some versions of the myth, the first human being. Kintu, according to Ganda mythology, came from the sky not only with his wife Nambi, but also in the company of her brother Walumbe.
When we read the other religions, they tell yes, God created man first, but he's Adam.
The myth of Nambi is the myth of the creation myth, I should say. Yeah. It's like the Genesis, it's like the Adam and Eve.
Every society has two myths. The myth of ancestry concerning the origins of that society, and the myth of purpose or mission, emphasizing the uniqueness of that society.
The Buganda Kingdom is strategically located in the south-central region of Uganda, a country found in the heart of Africa, estrade the equator at the source of the great river Nile.
Buganda was found within the three counties of Mawokota, Busiro and Kyadondo. From this nucleus, it went on to spread to have 20 counties by the 19th century.
The political administration of the kingdom was managed by the king, the ministers, and the great parliament known as the Luchiko.
Many historians believe that Buganda Kingdom emerged as a product of human labor and her environment.
To keep the environment, they put laws. One, every man must get a kibanja. This is where you put your house and cultivate your food and do all other duties. And in that kibanja, you are given a piece of road. We call it a kituli, which you must look after.
The people of Buganda appropriated and humanized nature. In the process, transformed themselves and made their own nature. As they continued to labor, they created social relations forged in the process of sustaining and reproducing themselves.
She is a kingdom whose settlement is as a result of waves of different migrations based on the clan system. Kabaka Kintu came with about 13 clans. Kabaka Chimera came with some 6 clans. And by the end, we have today over 52 clans within the Kingdom of Buganda.
The clan system formed another aspect of administration in Buganda, with the clan head at the top of each clan. Some animals, aquatic creatures, and flora form totems and sub-totems of respective clans. This was one of the way through which wildlife was appreciated and conserved in Buganda.
When you pick an animal that it is your totem, your clan, it is like a brother. You don't want anybody to kill it.
It is a taboo, a member of a particular totem or sub-totem, to harm and eat his own totem or sub-totem.
Each clan has got its own butaka, which is seat, official seat, headquarters in other words. And those used to be recognized. And members of each of those clans used to go and pay visit to their head clan.
Nze Mutaka Mukalo, David Sylvester Sesanga Salongo, nga nze Sesanga owokubiri, nga Sesanga eyasooka agalamidde entonye ze mu busujju.
Those places are very heavily respected. Nobody can tamper with those places. And they have even their own drums, sort of clan drums. Whenever you hear them, somebody drumming, you say, oh, this is a member of such a clan.
Nze Haji Musa Musoke Ssemambo. Era mu kika ky'enjovu nze ssentebe w'olukiiko olw'amagezi ne akakiiko akatabaganya oba katunda mu nsonga z'abazzukulu b'Omutaka Mukalo abeddira enjovu. Entandikwa y'ekika kyaffe kyasangwawo. Kimu ku bika binansangwawo.
The clan develops out of families. Okay. And the Luganda terminology we use is maka. Okay. Maka, taka, bataka, mutaka, and then sabataka.
In the end, they developed a feudal kingdom where the peasants, the cultivating masses, were subject to the rule of their leader, the sabataka, the head of clan.
The Baganda lived in well-organized, clean homes. A main house made of mud and wattle, grass thatched, stood firm on a big piece of land with a big compound and a garden in the backyard.
Growing crops was the duty of women, and the agricultural tasks of the Baganda men was confined to clearing the land. The men also made cloth from bark and leaves. The peasant Baganda men also built their king's residence, constructed roads, and staffed the army and navy.
The strength of the kingdom was measured in terms of lakes, rivers, forests that existed in the kingdom.
There is music and dance for every occasion. This old court musician, Sirwanga, used to sing for Ssekabaka Edward Mutesa II at his palace in Mengo. Even today, he performs for his successor, Kabaka Muwenda Mutebi II, at his palace in Banda. In Baga, this is rigorous dance performed by women in a wedding dance. The dancers entertain the bride, the groom, and their guests while demonstrating marital responsibilities and chores. The drum is used throughout Uganda. Drums only vary in shapes and sizes.
The Baganda enjoyed all types of foods. However, their staple food included bananas, call it matoke, accompanied with vegetable and meat. Bananas did not only serve as staple food, but also as a source of local brew known as omwenge omuganda. It is this brew that was used during marriage ceremonies, last funeral rites, and other cultural activities. Spiritually, the Baganda recognized the supreme being who is believed to be the creator of the world, including Buganda.
Forests and big trees were gazetted to our Misambwa, who kept those trees and those forests. It was forbidden, therefore, to cut away those forests and those trees. That way we are keeping the environment.
That's why he was known as the author of all creation, locally known as Katonda. Katonda was highly respected, that he could only be approached by semi-gods who managed Buganda on his behalf. For example, one who was responsible for the rain was known as Musoke. He is highly respected and honored in case they needed rain. The king of Buganda, the Kabaka, was seen as a shadow of God.
The custom of the Kasiki originates from the idea that the bride-to-be's extended family will be saying their private farewells to their daughter, sister, niece, or cousin. They will also be spending their last night with her before she departs to start a new family of her own. It is also the last opportunity for the bride-to-be's mother and aunties to pass on wisdom and advice about how she should behave and manage her responsibilities in her new home.
Uganda has had long, valuable working monarchies, among which the most stable and well-organized is the Buganda Kingdom, dating back to the beginning of the 14th century. It was these monarchies that were first exposed to outsiders. First the Arabs, whose mission was slave trade, to Europeans, who brought missionaries. The Buganda monarchy was therefore exposed to intervention from outside forces with divergent interests. The late 19th century saw the colonization of the Buganda Kingdom, a process that brought a qualitative transformation. With the advent of nationalism in Uganda at independence, the Buganda monarchy issues were brought back again. The issues of real tradition monarchy and being a separate state. For Uganda to be independent by 1962 constitution, the British Crown had to grant Buganda first its independence on October 8, 1962. Therefore, Buganda and other monarchies were highly decentralized, and a federal pattern following negotiations between the incoming leaders of the monarchy and the new state. The unitary military action of the government forced Mutesa II into exile again, and in 1967 abolished all kingdoms and unleashed a republican constitution, setting the stage for renewed conflicts between traditional monarchisms and the so-called modern state government.
When Buganda Kingdom was abolished from 1966 until 1993, any display of cultural unity was undertaken to avoid adverse political tension, although local languages, dress, food and dances continue to be in use.
I live with it quite happily. I mean, if we're talking about what you say, that I've lost my monarchy, I believe that it's a question of priorities. I mean, the monarchy was taken away, and it's a question of putting it back to the electorate whether they want that kind of institution reinstituted back on.
okuva leero okutuusa ensi lw'ebiruma abaana n'abazzukulu abakabaka mwenda mutebe okubiri abayirinnya ku namulondo ya Uganda okujja ku Namulondo bateeka okulabirizibwa nti gwosikidde Kabaka Kimera, gwosikidde Kabaka Muwenda Mutebi II, abazzaawo Buganda balizaayi.
With the restoration of the kingdom in 1993, these things are trying to take shape.
The kingdom has come up with what you can refer to as a dictionary of the Uganda language.
Ekisaka Teacher Nabagereka, a 2-week annual program run by the Nabagereka Development Foundation, aims at nurturing young girls and boys into holistic persons who appreciate both tradition and modern values. The children are facilitated to reflect upon a range of topics to enhance their understanding of culture, modernity, and critical thinking in various contexts. Modern and traditional concepts of gender are explored with the aim of understanding differences in values and perceptions. While the Ekisaka Teacher Nabagereka is rooted in the tradition, culture, character formation, personality development, and critical reasoning are given priority in the program. In spite of the challenges met, including inadequate funding that threatens its sustainability, the Ekisaka Teacher Nabagereka program has empowered its growing number of participants who demonstrate improved conduct, skills, and enhanced confidence both at home and in their respective schools.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Olusuku lw'omukyala Omuganda luba luyonjo kubanga luteekeddwa okuba nga lusalibwa. Wayita okusalira mukumanyi kyeki olulagala luno ne lukoonoka kati luno olulagala lwe tuyite ekireka era bw'oba owunya kavubuka toyina kyangwe okwata ekireka kino n'okikunya n'ogattamu n'ebbombo liirino wano nga bikula byombi.
In pre-colonial times, young Buganda attended a school for culture grooming managed by the chiefs of the Kabaka. This was conducted in an enclosed space fenced with papyrus reeds called the Kisakate. In Luganda, Ekisakate means enclosure. It was mainly for commoners referred to as Bakopi in Luganda, and some of them were sent to work in the palace after their training or even groomed into leaders, acquired leadership and other political skills, knowledge on culture practices and values, as well as occupation skills such as blacksmithing. They were considered educated Baganda, and the Kabaka often appointed some of his chiefs from among those who had been trained. The program has attracted financial and material resources and retained its human resources on a voluntary basis. An annual holiday program was hence developed for boys and girls based on Kiganda tradition and values, but taking into account modern trends. The program was called Eksakati because of its aim to provide culture orientation, although unlike the traditional enclosure, it was open to all young people under the age of 6 and 18 years old, regardless of social status or gender. I hope this documentary has been a useful tool not only for cultural education, but also for the preservation of Buganda Kingdom's heritage and posterity.